Hi, Sai, gusto yo, Chuganabida. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, everyone. Hello. All right.
We're
So
back.
I hope you all enjoy. We're back. Yes,
yeah.
we are back. As many of you know, and our loyal fans, of course, we have, let's see, Linda and Janine. How's it? We are.
Oh, no, Linda said she's going to miss. Well,
Oh,
she can always catch it
no!
later.
You'll catch it later. But thanks for chiming in. Welcome back to our another second season of Yuntaku Live. This is episode 2 of season 2. We're really happy to continue this program for the Hawaii United Okinawa Association, and we're going to continue to develop some of the content. And we're excited to keep sharing these stories with people, not only here in Hawaii, but all over the world. All right, Jason, another regular.
It is.
From San
it
Jose.
is episode 2
Oh,
of season 2. Season 2 of 2, but it's also our 36th episode altogether.
It is our 36th episode altogether. Yes. We have a great guest for you tonight, Lee Tonouchi, and we're super excited to have him. He's going to read a lot of his work, his poetry, and some short stories that he's done. But first, like always, please remember to share the HUOA YouTube and Facebook pages with your friends. On the YouTube page, we ask that you like and subscribe. Hit that the little bell down there. Share it with your friends. And here's a little fun tidbit. And what we found out was that if people just a lot of people have been keeping our HUOA YouTube videos just playing, a virtual Okinawan festival and all of the videos that we did last year. And now that we have over, we have over 2,000 subscribers, but the more people we get to play the videos, we get a few cents for every video or every commercial, right, that comes on. And that's starting to add up a little bit. And so if we can get more and more people to just watch our videos,
so we can get a few dollars.
We can get a few dollars, exactly. And we're super excited to be able to share the content with everybody.
Another cuddle.
Yes, we're super excited to share another season with you. So remember, donate, like, and subscribe, and please comment. Tell us where you're coming in from. I know we're still in the middle of the pandemic, so we still want to make sure everyone's keeping safe. So we really like to see how many different cities, countries, and different places that we're reaching. Okay,
but so we're slowly coming out of it. We're coming out of it, right? I mean, pretty soon.
Here we come.
Pretty soon, yeah. I want to also acknowledge. I do want to acknowledge that I'm here with you, of course, Lynn. But DJ is also here. He's just running the controls with the assistance of Copeland and Jacob. So big mahalo and ipenihe out to those guys.
Seriously, we couldn't have do it without these guys. We literally can't do it.
No,
that's not a figure of speech. It's just we literally can't do it without their help because I don't know how to do all of the things that they're doing. So we're very excited to have we have new, I'll call them production assistants, tech assistants, helping us that were also there last year too. All right, a lot of you got the Purple Blast today. There was was that yesterday? That had a lot of updated information on it. There's a bunch of smaller events, some photos from our Karyushi Noodle pickup that we'll show you. Of course, our Yuntaku Live announcement. These are a bunch of various photos that we'll get to that later. Actually, let's just run into that now. We did, for those of you who came, I want to thank you very much. This past Sunday, we did a Karyushi Noodle family pack pickup with our partners CPB Foundation and Sun Noodles, both longtime supporters of the HUOA. And together, the three of us came together to put together these noodle boxes, these cases of different noodle products, and to pass them out to a lot of our members, focusing on our kupuna, especially our kupuna, to make sure that a lot of people are still having a hard time getting to these grocery stores or making sure that people are still safe. And so we really want to thank all of our clubs. They did the hard work to making sure when they got their 10 or 12 boxes of noodles that they then also distributed to their members. So mahalo nui loa. You can check out some of the photos. We posted a few there, but we're still gathering all the wonderful photos. And I know, John,
And
I don't know if you've seen all the ones. Yeah.
and we also have the neighbor islands waiting for their
Oh yeah.
shipment of noodles. So it
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
only Oahu. It was the big island of Hawaii, Maui, as well as Kauai.
Right. I just got a text from Robert Kaneshiro, our Hui Okinawa club in Hilo. I've kind of asked him to help coordinate for the Big Island because we have 4 clubs on the Big Island. Yeah. So he said, yep, noodle distribution went well. They were able to have Sui-san help. So again,
Oh,
thank you. We've had a lot of different partners. He helped deliver some cases to our Kohala club and our Honoka'a club, and it was just like such a team effort. And so once again, we really want to thank CPB Foundation for sponsoring this event. This was really actually their idea. They came to us saying, "Hey, we have this idea. We want to support, the HUOA, and we also want to support our local food businesses. What do you think about us doing?" But he's like, "What we need from you guys is the manpower." And I was like, "Manpower we have." Logistics we can do. And so for those of you who get the Star Advertiser, yeah.
Oh yes, I have mine.
We made. Oh, good. Oh, look, we still get papers. That's the section B, yeah, of yesterday's paper of
Yes,
our Howard Takara from
Howard
Oroku
Takara.
Azajin. You know, he fully like tarped his car, made it all neat so that the noodles all fit inside. Some people, we had to maneuver around all the stuff that was in their car, yeah. But that's Mr. Uki from Sun Noodle, CEO of Sun Noodles, and also Keith Amemiya, who's the new executive director of the Central Pacific Bank Foundation, and of course Pat Miyashiro, our HUOA president. Yay!
That was a great event. Very great event.
Such a great event. Thank you to everyone who was involved. On our Purple Blast, we also have reminders of upcoming events. We have Irei no Hi coming up on June 23rd. Again, that'll be a virtual event. Just like last year, this was actually one of our first, besides Yuntaku Live, right? It was one of our first bigger events that we did virtually. And so we'll be doing that again virtually on June 23rd this year.
Yes.
We also have some Girls' Day. Yes, great ideas for Girls' Day. And if you go to shophuoa.com, you'll be able to see some of the beautiful, great ideas for Girls' Day. But if you want to make it before, you got to order by tomorrow. We also have this book. We're both picking up our books. The Okinawan Princess, The Legend of the Hajichi Tattoos, which is written by our tonight's guest, Lee Tonouchi, is on sale actually right now on our website. It's on sale for $15. It was $20. As long as a bunch of other hair clips. We have some really cute cards and other things. The Let's Sing Uchinaguchi CD is another one. I gotta get a few more of those actually. But a lot of really cute things that you can purchase on our HUOA shop online. I don't know if you can see mine either, but you can do it from your cell phone too if you needed to.
What was really, I guess, exciting is when the ladies, June and Jane, got featured on KHON on
That's
a little
right.
spot. We got all these calls from people that watched the news, and they were ordering from the marketplace because they saw all these wonderful products that are made by the Monday crafters.
Yeah, this is such a great, and labor of love, right here. I want to also give a shout out to Courtney Takara and her online marketplace team. It's not easy to put all these individually made things online to sell.
And then you have to pack it and ship it. Yeah. So.
And they're all like slightly different, right? So we have to like make sure that we tell people that these are all handmade, right? And so we want to make sure that people understand it might not be exactly the same. They're all going to be, they're made out of recycled material a lot of times. So the fabric's not exactly the same, but you'll get an original and it's been handmade with love.
Yep.
All right. So lots of news, lots of things going on this year. We're going to we're going to continue with a lot of virtual events, so stay tuned. But we are hoping, slowly but surely, if everyone kind of we keep our numbers down, hopefully we will be able to do a combination of in-person and virtual events, right, throughout the year. Okay, so let's see.
Right.
Time to bring on our very special guest.
Yes, we have our, the man, the myth, the one and only, Lee Tonouchi. Welcome.
Hey, Lee.
Hey, Lynn.
Hey, how you doing?
For I'm sure everyone out there recognizes Lee Tonouchi, with the glasses and the mustache. You're like,
nobody recognized me.
It's like a caricature. I mean, it's like, but we're going to talk a lot about who you are and how you came to be. And I think you set the record for the number of photos on Yuntaku Live. And so we're gonna get to see and learn a lot about you. So I'm looking forward to tonight's show. But I wanted to start by letting people really hear what you've been doing for basically half your lifetime now, which is Pidgin English. But you present it as poems, as books, as plays. So I wanted to start off with I think one of your favorites, and so I'm going to let you introduce your first poem tonight.
Okay, so for this one, this is my short story collection. It's called The Word. This is my first book, and it was so cute, bro. My grandma, she came to the reading, was at UH Campus Center, and she made andagi, bro, hundreds and hundreds of andagi to go give to people who came to my reading. And everybody was so happy to have andagi. Oh, so good, your grandma's andagi, Lee. Yeah, so because of that, I decided to write one poem. Yeah, so this one is called She Becomes the Andagi Nazi. People always say my grandma makes the best andagi. Usually my grandma a nice lady, but I don't know who she is when I bring home andagi from someplace else. Because she always got to get something for say. And it's not, thank you. This one, no enough. Cook, oil gotta be hot, How come so small? Orosen grip. Oh, funny kind of color. This no egg yolk. Food coloring must be. Andagi gotta be round. What shape this? Oh, too much one time they fry. As why come koge? Oh, how much they sell this kind? No buy next time. No more the taste? Where this from? Health food store? People always say my grandma makes the best andagi. And my grandma thinks so too.
That's great. Which grandma is this? Is this the Maui grandma?
That's my Taira grandma from Kaimaki. So it's my Kaimaki grandma. She's on the right in the picture.
Okay. And so she's the andagi Nazi.
Yes. But only when it's not her own.
Oh, that's so awesome. I think when we hear your voice and, especially using the Pidgin English, it brings us back for a lot of us. I was like, oh yeah, many of us have our families who, that's their first language, really, right? Is the Pidgin English. And so just the isms that you use, the tone, right? Sorry, I was just cracking up while you were saying it. Because I could imagine my own grandmother saying something like that.
A lot of it, the poem just writes itself. A lot of it is like direct quotes.
Right. You can't make this stuff up sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So Lee, tell us a little about your early years. Like, where did you grow up? What was your childhood like?
So I grew up in, ask me, bro. Okay, so that's when I was small. Like everybody else, I watched Kikaida. So I asked my grandma, how come my Kikaida costume no more red? Yeah, she goes, cost money, no material, the fabric. So that's why when you get two-color fabric, because red gonna be too much money already. Anyhow, so I grew up in Kaimaki. I grew up in Aya. I graduated Aya High School. What else like now?
Aea Naali. Okay. Right. That's so super important for us in Hawaii. Oh, wow. What the heck is this?
So I have to
This
give
is
credit to my father. He was very much into, you should express yourself, Lee. So when I was like 6 years old, he told me, oh, you guys like go paint the car, go paint the car. So we're gonna go paint the car. And, that's cool when you're 6 years old. All your kid drawings on top of the car. But 6 years later, when like 12 years old, we still drive around the same car with other kid drawings on top. Wasn't so cool anymore.
custom
That's great.
paint job.
Yes,
Custom
that was my
paint
father's.
job. Custom paint job.
So that was my father's '66 Chevelle. I remember thinking, everybody else get a new car, bro, Dad. It's like everybody else get on a Honda. They get air conditioning. They get FM radio. It's like, when are we going to get one new car? Yeah. So finally, when I was 12 years old, he got rid of the '66 Chevelle. He got a '67 Chevelle.
But you didn't get to paint that one.
No, never get to paint that one. But still never have air conditioning.
And no FM radio.
I think that one might have had FM, but yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
my mom. That's me. That's my dad.
Wow. These are precious, precious photos.
Wow, these are all pre-mustache.
So tell us a little bit about, you said your parents, they have backgrounds, right? From Okinawa?
Okay. So, a lot of people ask that question, what village you from? And I actually wrote a poem about that because that was my grandma's first question to all my friends. So I have a poem in here. This is my book, Significant Moments in the Life of Oriental Father and Son. And the poem is called, What Village You From? Yeah. What village you from? Grandma asks my friends with Okinawan last names. I don't know why. She always gets disappointed when they tell Palolo. So anyhow, for me, I get 5 villages. For me, I get 5 villages because all my great-grandparents is from Okinawa. So my Tonouchi grandpa side, my great-grandparents, they're from Miwason. And that great-grandma was from Nishihara, Son Kochimura. And so those grandparents was from different villages. My Tonouchi grandma side, that set of great-grandparents was from Makabe Son. My Taira grandpa side, those great-grandparents was from Nishihara Son Goya. And my Taira grandma side, those great-grandparents was from Shimajiri Unaha. So that's a lot to remember.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And I think that's very typical that, especially when you go to Okinawa, they ask you, it's not only the Shitosong, right? They want to know, like, in Nishihara, they would tell you where in Nishihara. They want to know Onaha, or is it Kobashigawa, or Aza, the Aza. And like you said, this, I think a lot of the name places that you mentioned, they're not like the city or town, right? They're the
Aza,
neighborhood, the Aza. Because that's how Okinawan people identify themselves, I think, a lot of the times. But that's the hard part too, because there's multiple. There's a Miyahira area in Haibaru and somewhere else, and there's like 3 of them, so all over the place. So they have to. I remember having to differentiate. They asked me Miyahira from Nishihara or from Haibaru or from. And I was like Nishihara, and they're like, oh, okay.
So my grandparents, all my grandparents is from Maui. So I still remember my Taira grandma. She told me a story. Oh, I was real country hick, And she said, the first time she came to Honolulu, when she moved here, the first time she ever saw a crosswalk, and the sign said, don't walk. Yeah, don't walk. So she looked at her sister. She said, oh, I think so. We gotta run. That's what they ran. And then the policeman saw her, but when he found out they from Maui, he just said, oh, okay, then go.
Oh, that's a great story. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm going to use that next time. Oh, it says don't walk, so I got to run.
I don't know if I'm passport for you because you look like you should know, huh?
Okay, I guess it'll work for me then.
Yeah. I don't know, yeah. So tell us about, we saw some photos of your grandparents in there, and tell us, just from the Andagi poem alone, clearly your grandparents were really involved in you know, kind of perpetuating the Okinawan culture for you, I'm sure, right? But tell us a little bit more about, you know, the things that you probably saw, or you know, like this photos, things you grew up with that maybe didn't even realize were Okinawan at the time, right?
Okay, so my Taira grandparents, they're from Kaimaki. They wasn't into Okinawan music and culture when they was young, right? Because they're too busy working. It's like, who get time for all this kind? Yeah, so I remember my mom, she wanted to learn piano. Yeah, but my grandma said, oh, no can, right? This is my grandpa saying that, oh, no can. Music, that's only for the rich guys. Yeah? But then secretly on the side, my grandma, she saved up money so my mom could take piano lessons. And then later on, when my mom came good, she bought a used piano from the Salvation Army store. And then she started giving piano lessons. Yeah, and so she would charge people money. Yeah, so afterwards, my grandpa, well, he took pride in that. He would say, oh, my daughter, piano teacher, you know. Yeah, so the house she grew up in was very different because when I went to live with my Kaimaki grandparents, you're going too fast. But my grandma played koto, my grandpa played sangching, my grandma did all kind of Okinawan dance. So every night we'd have all these old Okinawan people coming over, and the house would be full of music because they're practicing for some kind of recital. And here I would be getting mad because I tried to watch Happy Days on TV.
So, I mean, that's like very real, right? In the sense, I think your experience, well, I don't know, you know, not everyone got the chance to have Okinawan, a house full of Okinawan music like that. But I think that's part of the journey, right? You kind of go through that.
So when I was young, I wasn't very appreciative of all this culture I was getting. It wasn't until I was in college I took interest. Yeah, so I asked my grandma, you know, since she does Okinawan dance, she plays koto, she does sangching. I asked her, oh, you can try teach me some uchinaguchi or what? Yeah, so I figured she must know because she does all this stuff. But turns out she didn't know how to translate all the songs word for word. She just knew the general sense of what the song was about, and she just sang the song phonetically. Yeah, so she couldn't teach me. But then I came happy because my Maui grandma said, oh, she grew up plantation camp, so she knew how to speak Uchinaguchi because that's all the old people talk. They only knew Uchinaguchi. So if you're going to talk to the old people, you got to know Uchinaguchi. Yeah, but then she found out, oh, her language wouldn't come out unless the other person spoke Uchinaguchi to her. So I cannot learn unless I could speak Uchinaguchi to her. But I could speak Uchinaguchi to her, I wouldn't have to learn. Yes,
conundrum.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
my grandma.
Which one?
Yeah, so this is your
Kaimaki grandma.
Kaimaki grandma.
Okay. So she's in the foreground on the top picture, and then on the bottom left picture, she's on the right, and in the Sangshin picture, she's on the right. So she could do everything.
Wow, so that is amazing.
Let's go back a couple photos to see. I think it was your Tonouchi grandparents, right?
Yeah. Right there. So that's my Maui grandma and grandpa. So that's at their house in Lahaina on Maui. So I don't know if we share the connection, but me and Lynn began a connection, you know, because
that's what we were just talking about earlier, right?
Because Lynn's dad, when he was small, his grandpa, so that's Lynn's great grandpa, knew my great grandpa so he would go visit this house in Lahaina. He would go visit with his grandpa to visit my great grandpa, and then they would talk. Yeah. So my auntie asked them, "Oh, what you guys used to talk about? What did they talk about?" He said, "Oh, he don't know. He just went for the ride." So somehow
sounds about right. Somehow
your great grandpa knew my great grandpa.
Wow. I mean, this is amazing. You know, like you're fourth generation.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're both fourth generation, right? So our great grandparents, you know, I never met my great grandparents, and don't know if you've ever had a chance, but you know, we're 4 generations down, And it's just amazing to hear stories about your own great grandparents, right? That you never even knew. So I got to ask my Auntie Sumi about that one. Oh, wow. Okay, we have plenty family photos here, but I think these are so great because I think it takes us all back, right, to a time and place that a lot of us still remember very vividly. Actually, this is like
okay. Just so I'm sure, because I can never recognize you without your mustache. So you're the young, handsome fella on the right, correct?
The young boy. Yes.
Yeah. In the front row.
You get 3 handsome fellows on the right.
Okay, I was just testing you. And this is which side of the family?
These are people from the Tyra side.
Tyra side, okay. And then I think we have a picture of the other side, or was it all together? I think we were on that photo.
Okay.
There.
Yes, that's my whole
wow.
Tonouchi.
This is the Tonouchi side. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, before we move on, I think when I was talking to you, you mentioned that you know, you grew up with basically being raised by your family, your auntie, and your father, because he was a single parent, because you lost your mom, unfortunately, when you're at a very young age. And you said that instead of talking about that, you wanted to relay 2 poems that talked about your father and your mother. So maybe I'll let you explain.
Okay, that's funny. I only said 1 poem, but we can do 2. But yes, when I was small, my dad raised me. Was my Auntie Jane raised me. My grandma came from Maui to raise me. On the weekends, I would go stay in Kaimaki. So my Kaimaki grandparents raised me. It's like the whole village had to raise me. Okay, so anyhow, I go share a poem that I guess the first I'll do is like the title collection to this one. Yeah, so this is the one that tells the relationship between me and my dad. So it's called Significant Moments in the Life of Oriental Father and Son. Birth. Or like for thing, he started off with one yosh. Or if he was feeling particularly peppy, maybe one unbridled, one unrestrained. Yosh! Would demonstrate his virility. Because I know my Oriental father, he's not a man of many words, of much emotion. He probably may do it. Just one grunt. For send a message, he done true. Oh, pal, time for go sleep now. That's all I can imagine my Oriental father saying when him and mama were trying to conceive me. He is not the type for say, oh yeah, work it, baby, work it. Come on down, let's get funky like a monkey. Nope. Just one. Puberty. For my 13th birthday, my Oriental father gave me my long-awaited Cosby Show talk about the birds and the bees. I know if the cause didn't, it would probably take forever and a day. Because whenever the cause talks, it's always so drawn out. Son, a long time ago, the birds and the bees hooked up. That is why the stork took over for them. Okay, I know my Oriental father could never sustain one speech for that long, so I was anticipating something a little bit more concise, but not something that would take only 2.2 seconds. All he did was hand me one black TNC t-shirt and one smiley face balloon character and fluorescent yellow letters that said, no glove, no love. That's it. No explanation. And everyone hint me was talking metaphor. College. After I graduated high school, my Oriental father wanted me to go Harvard, Princeton, Stanford, and Yale. You never know where those places was. Just that that's where I have to go. So I went. You see, Irvine. That's when I discovered I'm Oriental father. He wasn't really my Oriental father. He was my Asian American father. They said I can have an Oriental rug or some Oriental furnitures, but I cannot have an Oriental father. Oriental is a term you use for the kind inanimate objects. That's what they told me. So I told them, I'm Oriental father. He hardly says anything. That's kind of like being one inanimate object. Yeah, what you think? Oh, when I said that, their faces went just freeze. Like they couldn't believe I said something as disrespectful as that. Asian American, as why? Marriage. I came back home with my girlfriend, fiance actually, who was on Katonk. Only she never knows she was on Katonk. She probably moistened the term banana. Either way, Martha thought I was happy. Katonk, banana, Twinkie. So long as Oriental, he said. Asian American, she corrected. Just for fun, I took her to a Franklin Lima show at the Polynesian Palace, but she never laughed. Not even one chuckle for what she called the blatant stereotyping and racist ethnic portrayals. So I started playing around, bro, after the show. Started telling all my friends, hey, what's up, Oriental? Ooh, you friggin' Oriental. Bruh, your mama, she's so Oriental. I bet she cannot see her chopsticks unless she turn them sideways. I figure I would take back the term. If Popolo people can use the N word, how come I cannot use the one that starts with O? Empowering like that. She thought I was nuts, out of my freaking mind. So she got back on her plane and left. Looking at L, all I could think was, what, Lucille, you gonna leave me now? Even though Lucille wasn't even her name. Death. Right before my Aunt father died, he suddenly had planning for say. No, watch Kingpin, the movie junk. English Patient more better was, but not as good as the book. Oh, that shocked the hell out of me. Never know he went movies, let alone read book. I thought he just stayed home, watched the kind of Aburambo Shogun, and drank the kind of green tea, all of that. But now he was giving me the latest load on all the movies. I told him, I could just picture him on TV, bro, at the movies with Roger Ebert and Oriental Father. And people would still ask, which one is Ebert? It's like, duh, the one that's not Oriental. He'd cough and he'd laugh and he'd ask real soft if I thought people would really mix up him and Roger Ebert. I told him, nah, Roger Ebert, get glasses. That's what I told to my father. Okay, and I'm gonna share one more, yeah? So that was kind of the relationship between me and my dad. And I'm gonna share one now about my mom, yeah? So this one is called Batteries. I used to nag my grandma, buy me toys, buy me toys. And whenever she bought me one, grandpa would go, too much omocha. So rather than get the scoldings, I used to collect stuff I found around the house, like matchbook covers, bottle caps, used stamps. I even tried collecting rocks, but it wasn't really interesting to me. My grandpa said I should collect leaves. I think he was kind of throwing the hints like he wanted me for help him rake the yard. Then one day, when I was emptying the rubbish can, I found one used battery. It was real different looking. It was deep blue and bronze color with one cat drawing on top. The shiny metallic colors was pretty trips. My mom told my dad, abunai, dangerous if I start collecting that kind. But by the acid leak, it might go inside my eye. God gave us one perfect son, and now this is how we take care. I was perfect, my mom said. I thought she was perfect too. I was happy that God gave her to me. My dad just rolled his eyes because my mom was always worrying about me. So for make her happy, he told me, when brown stuff starts to come out, then that's when I have to throw them away. The brown stuff is acid, poison, he said. But the only time I seen acid come out was when I left the flashlight on for like a couple of years, and so all the electricity went go leak. I figured so long as the battery wasn't inside anything electricals, I never need worry. Safe, can keep them forever. One day, my mom took me Shirakia. She was happy I never asked for one toy in a long time. So she said I can have one brand new battery, any one I wanted. And Shirakia had all the colorful kinds from Japan. After we left, my mom buckled me in my seat, and I put my new green battery inside my giant Nori container. Me and my mom was just driving back home, and all of a sudden, we got banged from the side. I seen my battery jar bust open and all my batteries would fly all over the place. My mom wasn't moving. She wasn't checking on me to see if I was okay. Plenty people was looking at us from on top of the sidewalk. And I seen plenty blood leaking from my mom. So much blood was coming out. I knew God wouldn't let me keep her anymore.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us. I think a lot of us are more familiar with like your Oriental fauna, poems. And so I just want to say thank you again for sharing that with us. That was very, very touching.
Thank you.
So this Katong, did she ever come back? The one that you said was leaving you on the airplane?
Oh, Lucio, you gonna leave me now?
This is part real and part fictionalized, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, boy. I was going to ask Tracy about that. Speaking of Tracy, I mean, I think I'm sure Lynn wants to ask you about your family.
Oh, that's us.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes, you know why I'm a hamburger? Huh?
Why?
Because beefy, that's why. But some people said it's because I have nice buns.
Wah, wah. All right.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. Oh my
Why
gosh.
don't you
So tell us
introduce?
about
Why
your
don't you?
family. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's my wife Tracy, and that's my children's. The cookie is Casey. The French fries is Lacey. So Tracy, Lacey, and Casey.
It's always and they're all spelled very, very differently, yeah. I understand, your girls have been involved with HOKA, or the Hawaii Okinawa Creative Arts, right?
Yes.
And there we go. For how many years now?
Oh, like 5 years now, John.
Mm.
It might be more now.
Watching them grow up. Yeah.
So question, do they all speak Pidgin too?
I still remember the first Pidgin word that Lacey ever said. I remember I came home one time, and then she made like a nice drawing for mommy. Yeah. So I said, "Oh, what did you do for daddy?" And she said, "Nothing." So
spelled nothing, right? Nothing.
yeah, so that's the first Pidgin word.
Oh, too funny. So how old are the girls now? Or in this picture, how old are they?
Girls is 10 and 9. Yeah. It's hard to remember because the number keeps changing every year.
This is a great picture.
Oh, that's my daughters and our Uncle Mac. So you like try to see if you can keep up with how we stay related to Uncle Mac.
Okay, ready.
Yeah. So Babang, that's my Tonouchi great grandma. She's Uncle Mac Yonemine's mother's auntie. Therefore, my Tonouchi grandpa and Uncle Mac's mom was first cousins. So my dad and his siblings is second cousins with Uncle Mac. So what that make me? I don't know, third cousin. I don't know. All I know is they all grew up in like the Mahina Hina plantation camp together, and we just always called him that's Uncle Mac.
I was trying to follow. I got lost real early. Oh, what is this?
So he's like our
Sorry, coming close.
Yeah, so he's like our family historian. Yeah, so he has this map of like the Mahina Hina camp. He the one that does all of our genealogy. So it's good that he did all this for us. Yeah, because he's gone now. But then I have all these materials that he made for us, so I can teach my daughters now. Oh, this is what a plantation camp looked like. Only had one phone, in the whole camp. Yeah, whereas nowadays everybody just carried their phone with them. Huh?
It's amazing, right? I have to ask a stupid question. Where is Mahina Hina camp?
Oh, I can't. I gotta show you on the map. Yeah, because most people don't use that name anymore. That's like an old name.
Right.
Yeah.
What part was that on Oahu?
No, it's on Maui.
Maui. Oh, Maui. Okay, sorry. Maui. That's right. Oh, that's right. Because my dad is Maui too. Yeah. So he was at Punene.
And he went for the long ride just to go visit.
That must have been a really long ride back then. To Lahaina. Yeah. I can only imagine, right? Back in the day, living on a, I don't know, his was Camp 13. I just remember him saying Camp 13. They must have, so this is so awesome to have these, and I think for many of us, like you said, this is a treasure, right? To be able to have something like this, to be able to show your own daughters, and luckily, I think for many of us, we're all looking for ways to help the next generation, right? So tell us a little bit. Clearly you got your daughters involved with Okinawan culture from a pretty young age, right? And I always see you on the hoka parents holding the dragon or whatever you guys are doing. But tell a little bit about that journey as a parent. Yeah.
Okay. The pictures you're gonna show us why? You're gonna show like the hoka pictures?
Later.
Do we have
later.
Oh, okay, later. Okay.
So the journey to, what is the question again?
Just as a parent, like getting your girls involved.
Yeah. So I guess like I was kind of like, there's not very many Okinawan children's picture books, so I was getting very upset. It's like a lot of these are all old and out of print, and it's like hardly get anything. So I was getting all upset. And I was like, hey, I'm a writer. Why don't I just go write one? Yeah. So luckily I had the idea. So for this book, it won the Association for Asian American Studies Award. And
you hold it up a little bit. Sorry, I cannot see. Out of the way.
There.
That one. Yeah.
Okay, so they had like the ceremony was in Seattle, but to go Seattle cost money, so I didn't want to go. So I asked, you guys can just mail me the award or what? So then, but
classic.
Yeah. So since I didn't go, the artist for my book now, she went to that, and she's half Okinawan, and she was all excited. She was hoping to meet me, but I never go. But she was doing Hajichi paintings because she's a fine artist. Yeah, so she had like this whole series, and she was very interested in my book because I have a whole series of poems in here. So we had the common interest of the Okinawan tattoos, and so I just sent her like a email, like coincidentally the week after the conference was done, saying, hey, you want to do a children's picture book since we both interested in the practice of Okinawan tattoos, and coincidentally she had wanted to meet me, right? And then so we decided, hey, let's go make a book. So we made this book. It's called Okinawan Princess, The Legend of Hajichi Tattoos. And it's on sale now at shop HUOA.com for 25% off. Don't delay. The sale is only good till March
3rd.
February 24th. You can get it in time for Girls Day.
Oh, yeah,
right?
okay, yeah. In time for Girls Day. That's right.
Girls Day. It's the perfect gift.
Well, it's a very interesting book, right, Lee? Because it's written actually in 3 languages.
Yes, so it features Pidgin, Japanese, and Uchinaguchi. Yeah, so there's no English in the book except for like the supplemental materials in the back. This picture is super cool. Okay, so the first draft to my script, I was having a hard time because the main character, like the young girl, she's too young because the person with the tattoos would have to have been her great grandma, and she couldn't have met her great grandma. So not having the connection was hard. So Laura suggested, hey, why don't you just make it during your time? Yeah, so make it in the 80s. Yeah, so then that way, at least the main character would have seen the tattoos. Yeah, otherwise it wouldn't have the same effect. So that's why once we decided to set it in the 80s, we have all these cool 80 references now in the drawings. I don't know if you noticed. Yeah. John should get it. I don't know if Lynn, I think Lynn might be too young.
Lynn's too young.
I was young in the 80s, but I was there. Yeah.
Oh, there's Laura.
Yeah. Oh, Laura Kina. Yeah. Who's the illustrator, right, for the book?
Yeah.
So Lee's the author and Laura is the illustrator of this beautiful, there's beautiful, with Governor Ige at Okinawan Festival, 2019, 2018.
It was last year, yeah. So yeah, it's been a while.
Yep. And these are wonderful photos. And this was at the book signing, yeah?
These are all the volunteers that made the book signing happen. Yeah. Yep. It's funny because Laura, she usually writes academic art books. So she brought a book to read during our book signing because she thought was going to have plenty of downtime. But when we had our book launch, we got slammed. At every event, we got slammed. She didn't have time to read a book. So for her, it was very exciting.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great problem to have, right? Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah.
So that one, we had to sign books for our publisher. So they asked us, hey, can you go into the warehouse and sign those books? Yeah. So we see all the books on the table. So we sign all the books. And then I said, after we pow, the next picture is, so then they asked, oh, what about all the books on the pallet? So I felt like Mr. Miyagi after Daniel-san, he finished painting the fence. Yeah? And then the Mr. Miyagi says, oh, both sides. And so much more books we had to sign. But that's a good problem to have, right? And that means that many people want the book.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. You thought you only had that, but I mean, yeah, this was a great project, and I'm so happy that you're able to, kind of also help the worldwide Uchinanchu people come together. And these are, this is not the only book, but you have all these other books too, right? That you've published.
Yeah. So I have The Word. Yeah, that's my collection of Pidgin short stories.
Mm-hmm.
I have Living Pidgin. That's my collection of Pidgin essays. I got Boss Laugh. That's my anthology of stand-up poetry. I get my The Kind Dictionary. Yeah, that's my community Pidgin dictionary project. And then I get the other two that you already seen. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you saw this before because your copy no more this super awesome sticker on top. Yeah. But
no, what is that?
Yeah. So our book, it won a Skipping Stones Honor Award. Yes, that's like a national award, bro. We got for Okinawan Princess. Huh? Gee.
Wow. Awesome. That's awesome. I love to see, local authors, especially, Uchinanchu local authors being rewarded. So that I don't have a sticker on mine, but maybe I should get one. So thank you. And I think I just wanted to share, and I think for people who don't, maybe, in our own community here in Hawaii, they don't realize how many, published books that you have. And I think I wanted to, people do know you as the Pidgin Guerilla, right? And that name has stuck with you for a pretty long time. Can you tell us a little bit about your moniker and where that's come from?
Oh, okay. So it wasn't until I went to college, right? That's when I saw for the first time had Pidgin in literature. Yeah, because our professor Rob Wilson, he's from California, but yet he was using a book called The Best of Bamboo Ridge. And there I have a poem called Tutu on the Curb, written by Eric Chalk, and was all in Pidgin, right? That poem. So I was blown away, bro. I was like, wow, the guy's writing in Pidgin. And we studied him in college. That means you gotta be smart, bro, for studying Pidgin. And so that kind of started me on my path, right, to write Pidgin.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I was so radical with my Pidgin, I was writing my response papers and my essays and my 30-page research papers, my thesis, everything was in Pidgin, right? So like the school newspaper at UH, they did a story about me, and they asked my college professor, Rob Wilson, to give them a quote, right? And so they said, yeah, Lee, he's like a Pidgin Guerilla. Yes, like when my friend saw that, she's like, Lee, he's not a Pidgin Guerilla, he's the Pidgin Guerilla. And so that's how I got the name.
So
cool. Very cool.
You're talking about, if they're teaching in college, you got to be smart. But you actually were teaching college courses, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. Not while I was in college, but after.
Yeah.
So
once you get your degree, right? Yeah.
So I was teaching at KCC. So I was doing stuff like creative writing. I used to do like the student literary magazine. Also taught at HPU. And at HPU, they asked me, is there a course that you really want to teach? So I said, well, I would like to teach Pidgin literature, and then I shall get my friend Ken Sakura to teach Pidgin language, right? And so this is going to be our first ever Pidgin literature and Pidgin language courses. So this is a 3,000 level course devoted solely, only to Pidgin literature, right? So these are two groundbreaking courses. And so for doing those courses, we got front page recognition, bruh. I don't know if you get the picture.
Front page recognition.
But,
yeah, elevating the Pidgin language into
yeah, the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, so
the Wall Street Journal.
Doing those two courses, and then it's so hard to believe that this came out. I remember when I went to go buy a Wall Street Journal, right? Because it's hard to find a Wall Street Journal. So I went to the bookstore. I asked for a Wall Street Journal. They had to get it from the back. The guy gets the Wall Street Journal. He looked at the picture. He looked at me. He looked at the picture. He looked at me. He goes, "Hey, that's you." I go, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "Not." And then he believe. And then even my friend, she's on Pidgin writer, right? So I made her a Xerox copy of my Wall Street Journal because I only get one copy, right? So I made her a Xerox. I gave it to her because she's a Pidgin writer. And then, I don't know, I didn't hear nothing for years. I should not say anything. So I was like, wow. Come to find out years later, she thought I made it up. She thought that I made it like a little Photoshop and I made a fake article. She thought it was fake news. She never believed, right, that Pidgin can be on top of the front page of the Wall Street Journal. And she's a Pidgin writer.
She thought it was only going to show up on the Side Street Journal. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, wow. Let's talk a little bit about your plays. I mean, you not only wrote books, you wrote plays. Starting in 2004. I believe your first play was 2004.
Yes, so my first play was Gone Fishing, and that one was super cute, bro. Because my grandma, she was my biggest supporter. Huh? So by this time, she was no longer in Kaimaki. She was in Mililani. She was living in like a retirement community. So I was like, oh, I cannot get my grandma to come on the opening night because I got to go early for opening night and I have to be there. So, I guess I'll take my grandma later. But my grandma, she took initiative, bro. She rented a bus. And then she took all the old people from the retirement community and she brought them to my play on a Thursday night. It's like, wow, so cool, my grandma. And all these old people, that's like the most fun they ever had in years, I think. They've never been out so late.
Oh, wow. Renting a bus. Okay, we got some other plays here, too, that you've done, right? Oh.
Yes, that was my first play. First play was called Gone Fishing. And I had some other plays. Oh, this play I never actually seen. This is my play, but I never seen it because it played in Los Angeles. This play was a Los Angeles Times Critics' Choice selection. And usually I don't go if they don't pay, but they was going to fly me. They was going to pay for me to go up there and plus pay to have the play done and all that. But it was right around the time that my second daughter was going to be born. So I told them, I don't think I can go, bro, because my wife's pregnant. The baby going to come pretty soon. But they said, oh, but the due date is on this date and the play starts here. You can come. It's not science, not guaranteed. And it's a good thing I never go because I might have missed the birth of my daughter. So yeah, so I never seen that one.
So wow, but you wrote the play. Go ahead.
Having all these plays, I mean, did you ever see or think that you would have come this far in writing these award-winning books and writing plays? Was that always your life vision?
It was always the goal, right? When you first starting, I want to be like this guy, Eric Chalk. I want to publish poems. I want to publish books. I want to do plays. John, so what did the Okinawan caterpillar say? I don't know, Lee. What did the Okinawan caterpillar say?
I don't know.
What did the Okinawan caterpillar say?
He said, yard by yard, it's hard. But inch by inch, it's a cinch. That's just as long as you have a plan and then you can do it, right?
That is amazing. You know how? Yeah. Sorry.
What did the Filipino caterpillar say?
I just make fun of you because you get your Okinawan caterpillar joke.
Oh no! Oh boy! But yeah, no, I think it's awesome that there's a lot of people who maybe aspire to be writers, but it's one thing to aspire and it's another thing to actually do it and get published and have plays that have been done and that you haven't even seen yourself, which is really amazing. I'm just blown away by. I think a lot of the work you've done. I know that there were others like you, others that have come before you who've also written in Pidgin, but I think it really elevates the language. I think a lot of our maybe grandparents were a little bit ashamed, because they felt like, I know older people who are like, oh, they felt bad because they didn't speak proper English and they didn't speak proper Japanese. They felt like they didn't speak anything proper. But really, Pidgin was their first language. They spoke it perfectly, right?
Yes.
And to be proud of that, right? And it's almost something that, like, I don't know, talking to a lot of young kids nowadays, it's like something we got to hang on to too, right? I mean, Pidgin is always evolving too, I think, and it's definitely evolved since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it didn't stop at plays and books, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're transitioning to new photos now.
New photos. All right.
Transition. I wanted you to tell me what else you've written.
Oh, okay. I guess lately I've been doing a lot of food reviews and product reviews for Frolic and for Star Advertiser. Yeah, so I had a pretty good gig at Star Advertiser, but then had pandemic and things kind of had big cutbacks. I haven't submitted anything to them because I figured like no more money now, so no sense anything now. But I used to write about products for them, and my reviews are all in Pidgin. Funny because I have two different kinds of fans. It's like all the older fans, they say, oh, Lee, I see all your stuff in the Star Advertiser. When you going to write for Star Advertiser again? I say, oh, you can read my stuff at Frolic. I do food reviews. And they go, Frolic, what's Frolic? Yeah, so the old people, they don't know Frolic. And then the young people, all they know is my reviews from Frolic. Yeah, it's like, they don't even know they don't even know I have books. Yeah. So that's me and Grace Lee. Frolic, and then
for those of you who don't know what Frolic is an online website here in Hawaii, news, a lot of food culture right here in Hawaii.
So go to
foodies.
Yeah, frolic.com.
If you want, you can take my zip pack personality test. You just gotta choose what is your favorite thing inside the zippy zip pack, right? And then that's gonna talk. You go try read it then, see what kind of person you are. Yeah.
Speaking of food, I mean, I think when you celebrated the book signing of the princess, you had this particular dish that I thought was very interesting.
Oh yes, that was my thank you party, right, to all the supporters of Okinawan Princess, all the friends and family. We had a special party for them at Best Press. And I figured I should feed all these people, right? Because these people helped us so much. So I decided we should have a special dish. So I tag team with Dayton Asato, right? He's of KC Waffle Dog, and together we made the rafute and the dog without the dog.
I was like, wait.
Yeah, so I had to make rafute for 50 people. I never made that much before. It's like, oh my god, this is hard.
So it's your own.
It was good.
Your own rafute recipe.
Yeah. So then, and I know it's good because Laura's brother, he was there, and he's very particular about his food. He doesn't let when Laura comes to visit, he don't let her eat at any place. It has to be someplace he says is okay. It's only if he approves of the food. So he said he liked my pork, so he said it was good.
Awesome.
So, waffle rafute. So, speaking of rafute and the fact that you make rafute, so what else have you done to perpetuate your Uchinanchu heritage?
Oh, okay. What else have I done? So I have.
What have you done to promote and to perpetuate your heritage?
Oh, okay. So if you look at this picture, I'm a big fan of Masashi Sakihara. He did like the Uchinaguchi language textbook, right? So I was like, wow, this is such an awesome book, right? We gotta get it into more people's hands. Yeah. So I made a fundraiser. I managed to raise funds to print 50 copies. Luckily, we had John Itamura. He said he's going to match the donations, bro. So he matched it, and we made 100 copies, which was perfect because plenty of people came to this event, right? Because they were interested. So if we had only made 50 copies, it was going to be no enough. So good thing we had John there. Yeah, so phew.
Yeah, look at all those famous people in the photo. You know, Norman Kaneshiro, Brandon Ing. I mean, Chu Uchinaguchi sensei, Shimokutuba senseis. Okay, and what else? What? Let's see what else you've done that you know. At least, I've never seen you play the sanshin. I've never seen you dance odori. But
okay.
Oh, there you are.
Let's go back. Let's go back one. Okay.
Yeah.
Chu Uchinanchu.
Okay, so this is like behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. So because my daughters do hoka, the parents gotta help out all the time. So if John says Lee make andagi, Lee gonna make andagi. If John says Lee, you're gonna be serpent head, Lee gotta be the serpent head. If John says Lee, you go wear these shiny clothes tonight, then Lee gotta wear the shiny clothes tonight. Huh? Yeah. So the funny thing of being with hoka was I remember one time I was in charge of I gotta watch the serpent. So it was just sitting on the ground. I'm just watching it. Okay, because John said to watch them. Huh? And then these people from Japan came and they started asking me questions in Japanese about the serpent. They're pointing to the serpent. They're asking me stuff, but I don't understand what they're asking. So I just say, "Oh, John Itomura," and they say, "Oh, John Itomura." Oh, and then they walk away happy, like I answered their question. So
who knows what you said? Who knows?
Someone ever asks you a question?
Just say Johnny Tomura. All problems will be solved. Oh,
Speaking of one Johnny Tomura, I had the pleasure of seeing a wonderful play that we didn't talk about earlier, which was Uchina Aloha.
Oh, okay, so we're talking about that. All right. Oh, that's my play, Uchina Aloha. This one was very popular. It got extended twice, and they were actually gonna remount it last year during the summer, but pandemic, so they didn't remount it because it had so much demand, right? People wanted they keep calling up Kumu. They want to see it. Usually they wait like 10 years before they remount something, but that's how much people wanted to see it again. Or the funny thing was for this play, people would go back and then they would bring more people. I never had a play like that where usually you just like a play and you tell somebody and then they just go on their own. This play, a lot of Okinawan people, they like it. They go bring all the Okinawan friends and then those friends bring more friends. So some people saw him 2, 3, 4, 5 times, I think.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. For those of you who don't know, he mentioned Kahua Theater is where this played. And they do a lot of local plays here, and I think the venue itself it doesn't have a ton of seats, and that's why you have to keep going, right? Like Lee, you have multiple nights where it's going, and I know the night I went, you definitely know all the other Okinawan people in the audience, right? Probably first time ticket buyers at Kumukahua, right? I think
there's only about 50 people in there, huh, Lee?
They can see a little over 100 probably.
Yeah, it's actually more than that. 100? It feels small. It feels small, but it's like 100.
It feels small.
And we should also mention that's Colin who is our young Okinawans of Hawaii vice president. Yeah.
I was very fortunate that Colin came. This was Colin's first play, bro. He works close by. He always passes by Kumukahua Theater, and then one day he decided, oh, maybe I'll try out for this play. And he got cast, and he got and we're very fortunate that we had Colin because he's the only one that could actually play Sanshin, right? This play is about a Sanshin teacher, Sanshin students, but nobody can play, right? So good thing we had Colin, right? So Colin taught the actor who played the Sanshin teacher, and Colin taught the students, right? And it was pretty convincing because everybody looked like they could play, right? Like, wow, so lucky we got Colin. So if anybody ever asks you, who the man? You gotta say Colin, right?
Ooh. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So for this play, this was actually based on I guess kind of like my grandpa, like the Sanchin teacher's voice is my grandpa's voice. He wanted me to learn Sanchin, but when I was young, I never like learned. So it's kind of based on that experience. This play, so amazing. I got Jake Shimabukuro. He composed a song for me because we had a sanlele, and I didn't know anybody who ever wrote a song for the sanlele before, right? Because hardly anybody has a sanlele, which is a combination of sanchin and like ukulele. So I asked Jake Shimabukuro, hey, can you write me one song or what? So he wrote a song, right? It's called Men Sole Hawaii. So even though that's the official title, in my head, I like to think of it as Lee's song, yeah, because he wrote it for me. Right? And then we also have like an original chant by Daiichi Hirata. He made a chant for us too for this play. So, so many amazing creative people worked on this one.
Yeah, what an awesome play. I remember, when it came out, and I'm pretty sure they like extended it a few times, right? It was one of those things where there was a lot. What year was this? I'm trying to think. It was a couple of years now, right? 2017?
Something like that.
I don't know. I might be. Yeah, I mean, it's recent, but one of the great another way where our Uchinanchu community just came out, right, in force, I think. So
that's
awesome that they're gonna bring that back, Lee.
I know, but the pandemic is I don't know now if they're gonna bring them back again.
Yeah,
but they were also
maybe.
The pandemic also prevented your new play from starting.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I was gonna have maybe 3-4 plays last year, and then all got shut down. Okay, so I had my play was set to premiere at Paliku Theater. Yeah, it was called Oriental Father and Son.
Oh, right, March.
It's the play that's based on my book, right? So set to premiere on the day that the day before it was set to premiere, it got shut down by the chancellor because got to shut down. But we did have one performance for the theater judges because we have like the Po'okela Awards. Yes, we had a few judges came for just one performance. It was like a very small performance. So the people who acted in the play could compete, right? So I think they won 6 awards. Yes, we won 6 awards for this.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're not sure.
Tough year.
Yes, we're not sure when we're going to have the play yet. I guess just follow me on Facebook or Instagram, and then you can get like the latest update. Hopefully, maybe fall of this year. I hope. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that, Janine Oshiro had tickets. She was gonna walk on over. She can walk there in about 15 minutes. She was gonna be there.
I know. Paliku is my sister's backyard, so we're definitely ready to go. I know. I look at the dates too on this, and I'm like, I remember that time, right? It was, right at the peak of COVID and not knowing exactly what was gonna happen. And mid-March last year was just such a crazy time. And look, Julie Higa also saying, please bring Uchina Aloha to Maui, please. Yeah, I think you're great. If we could find a sponsor, somebody to help, right, fund it, bringing the plays to the islands.
Usually the theater and the actors are willing to do it. It's just a matter of can they get a sponsor to go bring them to not only you got to bring the people, you have to bring like some of the set too, yeah.
So the set.
Yeah.
Too funny. So
you have a lot of other projects on tap, don't you?
Okay. We'll talk about my future projects.
Yeah, future projects.
I also have a play about social clubs because Kuma Kuhua, they've been asking me Lee, can you write us a play about social clubs? For years, they're asking me, Lee, go write us some play about social clubs. I tell them, I don't know what's that, bro. That's before my time. So but finally, because they nag so much, I decided, okay, I'll approach this like a historical play. I'll go do research. Then maybe I can write this play, right, about what is this social clubs. So while I was doing my research, I came across this social club yearbook from my friend Doreen. And inside there, look who I saw. I saw a picture of John Itimura.
He that old? He that
you
old?
read that.
Yes, Casey, I'm that old. See,
Yeah,
I
so,
can be a consultant for your play.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
wait. We're
What
pointing
else
to
you
which
got?
one, John? Though, wait, in the middle, right?
Oh
Wait,
my
no.
goodness.
One, two, second row. Oh, I see him. Sorry, I gotta get real close to the camera.
You just
Yeah,
gotta
I'm
look
sitting
for
right,
one. Aye.
probably sitting right next to the velour shirt and the silky shirt on the other side. So,
Too funny. Too
John said he
funny.
was very popular. He said like one time like 3 girls asked him out to like a banquet.
and here we
Social
go with
clubs. That's the secret. That's the
here we go
secret.
with the fact and fiction. What else you had? What else you
Okay.
had on?
Yeah.
Okay, what is this one now? Okay, this one I have a Hawaii Okinawan fusion cookbook I'm doing with Misty Uehara. She's drawing the food, right? So you know me, I'm very creative, right? So I get all these ideas. So for this one, this is like my recipe for it's like jimami tofu, but instead of using peanut, right, we use macadamia nut to make it, and it has like a chocolate sauce. Yeah, so that's like one of the recipes. And here's like another example from the cookbook. I'm going to change the picture now, right? And this is my anda waffles. Yeah, so for this one, use andagi batter. You make the waffle, but it's not done yet. After you make the waffle, you deep fry it like an andagi and it comes super crispy, bro. Oh, it's so good. Yes, so that's another recipe.
Wow.
I get plenty of recipes, all my creative ideas.
Wow.
Hey, feel free to cook your recipes anytime and bring it
yeah,
to
I was like,
I made for John because every time we see his car, he's at the Okinawan Center. He works there all day, every day. So I made for him one time. I think, oh, he's gonna be there. He's there every day. And then the one day I go, oh, he's not staying today.
he's not there.
How come I didn't see it in the refrigerator then? And what else? What else? Yeah.
Yeah. What else you have?
Okay, so I have a few children's picture books coming out. It's still in process yet. So this is one by me and my friend Aiko. This one is called Barf Baby. This is about a mom who has to take off from work. She got to deal with her sick baby who has a stomach flu. And for this one, like the competing storyline for the background is like the dog is jealous of the baby, right? So here you have the baby is sick, and the dog is like, hey, how come we
I want to go outside? Oh, probably a very real existence for a lot of people. Oh, and
Janine already wanting to buy your cookbook on HUOA Marketplace.
And then this one is a top secret children's picture book I do with my friend Tessa. It features a character who's a Utah, and she teaches the lesson that, oh, before you can love somebody else, you gotta first learn to love yourself. Yeah. So John was able to pick up on the fact that this book has some Star Wars references inside.
I was gonna say, I see Yoda. That's the first thing I see when I see this. I see Yoda. Yeah. It's a she Yoda. I like it.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that statement. And John, he loves himself.
Well, John, tell Lynn why you named your social club group the name you named it.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
No, only because Alliance and Yuimaru.
Oh,
you said it's because the Rebel Alliance from Star Wars.
Yes, it was. Rat me out. Yes, it was. Star Wars fan.
And Janine, she belonged to two different social.
And it looks like your the other project you mentioned sounds like a really wonderful project.
Oh yeah. So this is one that we need some funding, right? This is my Hawaii Okinawan anthology, because I was thinking, Hawaii get plenty of local Okinawan writers that's publishing local literature. They're publishing in all these journals, right? But how come they're not writing Okinawan themed stuff? They're Okinawan, and then so I'm thinking, yeah, I know these guys. Maybe I should go make them write something Okinawan then, right? So I made them. Yeah, so I have all that works that they wrote for me. Plus, I also have what might be like the last interview with Philip Ige. Yeah, so Philip Ige might be one of like the earliest Okinawan American writers. He passed away, I think, kind of recently. And then I also have an interview too with John Shirota. Yeah, and he's gone too now, right? So we have all these prominent Okinawan writers that's passing away now. It's like my book gotta come out now before more of these people pass away. So right now this book is just kind of just sitting there because it needs money now. Yeah.
Well,
But you know,
if anyone's out there, yeah.
As an author, I mean, you're kind of like old school influencer. You know, the word now is influencer. But as an author, you are an influencer. So, you know, with all your projects coming up and, you know, your focus on Uchinanchu heritage going forward, I mean, how are you personally wanting to inspire young people going forward?
Okay. So this is going to be my advice as a writer, or doesn't necessarily have to be a writer. It can be any kind of creative person. It can be a musician, it can be an artist, it can be whatever. It can be any kind of creative person. You got to go see all different kinds of creative things, whether it be a play or it can be a concert, it can be like an art show. And seeing creativity will inspire creativity, right? So, for example, like if you go see one play, and if you want to write a play, you see a play, and you see the play, you be like, wow, you know, I want to write a play good like that. That's going to inspire you, right? And then, you know, even if the play is junk, you can be like, oh, I can't write one play better than that, right? So either way, you can be inspired, right? So yeah, just see more things.
That's really good advice, I think. Get inspired either way, right?
Either way, right? Look at the news. Yeah.
Well, you know, you just said creative, but the you wanted to do a special debut tonight as well.
Oh, you forgot, Brian. What you want special poem? I saw you had started it for the middle of the thing. I said, oh, more better we save it for the end, so people gotta watch the whole boring show before they get to the poem, right?
This is the end splash.
Oh yeah. So I wrote a brand new poem for John Itomura.
World debut, right? World debut right now.
Okay, so
worldwide debut.
This one is called Teriyaki Meat Sticks. The one time my Kaimeki grandma got super mad at my mom was when my mom was in high school and she invited her friends over to the house. They was doing some kind of project for school when by chance my grandma was walking by and she overheard my mom telling the girls, yeah, my parents are strange. They don't eat meat. When my grandma heard that, she was so upset, but she kept her head cool and waited till the friends left before she went set my mom straight. She asked, how come you think we don't eat meat? So my mom gave her reasonings. Well, whenever we go to Noe's and we all get the saimin, you guys never get the teriyaki meat sticks. Tastes so good and then. So my grandma shakes her head and tells, it's not that we don't eat meat. We like eat meat too, but meat stick costs money. That's why only for the children we order. We no eat so you guys can eat. You understand? So then my grandma asks me if I know the moral to her story. So pretty confident I tell, you should really appreciate the sacrifices that parents make. My grandma shakes her head, no. Hui, not your parents. Who gonna watch you all the time? Make sure you appreciate grandma.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
That is awesome. World premiere, guys. You heard it here first. Yuntaku Live world premiere of teriyaki meat sticks. That's a really touching story, though. I think, you know, I think a lot of us don't realize, especially when we're kids, the sacrifices our parents or grandparents do for us, right?
Mm-hmm. It's been great having you on Yuntaku Live, Lee.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And, you know, I think a lot of people learned a lot more about you. And we're going to have a lot of inquiries about not only Okinawan Princess, but now I think the Jimami McNutt cookbook is going to be probably hot cakes, so to speak, or on the waffles. So, again, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your time with us and sharing all your stories. And, you know, again, and I think Lynn enjoyed all the stories and finding out you guys are kind of related.
Kind of related. My great grandfather's.
My great grandfather somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah. Like,
oh man.
it's a kind relation. No, cut the toenail off, but you might lose the relationship already. So,
oh man, I'm so thankful.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it was Richie Kiabu who put on there. Hearing Pidgin is so soothing. It reminds me of my father, right? It reminds me of my grandmother and all of my aunts and uncles. It's just really it's fun, and I'm also glad that you're one of the few people who've put it in writing. I think that's what makes it special, right? And when you put something in writing and you publish it, just like all the old Okinawan books that we have, all the books that we have at the HOC or at the Okinawa Center, it makes it immortal, right? It lasts for a really long time. And I'm so thankful for you for doing that, putting it into writing, because as I'm reading it in my head, I'm reading it out loud and kind of laughing at the same time, right? Because we know that's how it, like the way you spell project. And I was like, that's exactly how we say it. Whatever, what was it? Anyway, but it's exactly how, and we're preserving it, for future generations. So thank you again. And thank you, John said, sharing your story. A lot of us have seen you around, but we don't get to talk to you about your, back in the day and where you got the nickname. I always wondered where you got the nickname. I assumed it was UH, but
I know I hate when people call me the self-proclaimed Pidgin Guerilla. That really gets on my nerves, because it's like only loser people, bro, make up nicknames for themselves. Right? This was a name that was bestowed upon me, right? So I'm very proud to have this name that my friends gave to me.
Right. Yeah. It's not self-proclaimed. It was given to you. So maybe we'll correct people when they say that. So, but thank you again.
Next time I see you in person, I'm going to have to ask you, how did your teachers grade your paper if you're writing it in Pidgin English?
That's very bold of you. Very bold.
So again, thank you, and of course, big ipeni debut to our hardworking technicians over here. Again, DJ behind the scenes as always, and we got Copeland Talkington and Jacob Higa. So stay tuned. Again, we'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode of Yuntaku Live, and of course, don't forget to subscribe and
like button. Yeah.
So
thank you again, and all right.
Thank you.
Bye.